This is our weekly fantasy football pot. Oh, you want to restart it?
No, we're good.
All right. Okay. Well, so there's an extra guest here, which is why I have the mic up to my face, and it's Tyler. And Drew's on the exercise ball today because he sucks at Roblox Call of Duty. So
True.
He's getting punished. So we all had something we wanted to talk about today. Drew, what did you want to?
I wanted to talk about college football, tie a little bit of that into this. I know we talked primarily about the NFL, but I figured that'd be fun with Michigan and what everything's going on, man. And they're a juggernaut, and I hope they beat Ohio State again because Ohio State does not deserve to win. And the whole cheating scandal, and now Harbaugh's out for 3 games, the rest of the regular season and everything. I mean, he can still coach the team, but he cannot be there during the game, so... Got Penn State tomorrow, big game for Michigan tomorrow, so hopefully they come away with a victory there. I think they will.
All right, and I wanted to talk about the state of the awards. So MVP, Defensive Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, all that. I think Tyler was just gonna just go with it. You know what I mean?
I'm just going with the flow here.
We need the hottest takes you have though.
Yeah, give us a really hot take. All right, Drew, you want to go first?
All right, very hot take for this year. Let me think. Well, yeah, I said I was going to start out with Michigan. Let's start out with Michigan. I think what's going on now, the players should not be punished, and everybody's saying that the players should be punished for this when they weren't even involved in this. Like, if you ban Michigan from the playoffs, that's not even, the players don't deserve that. They've been putting in the work, Blake Corum, J.J. McCarthy, Roman Wilson, those guys. So I'm glad that Michigan gets the chance to compete and really prove themselves. I mean, this game coming up against Penn State, this is their real first challenge of the year because other than that, it's been a very soft schedule for them. Then they have Ohio State right after Thanksgiving, so big games. Hopeful that they'll win their 3rd straight Big Ten championship. I think they're legit. I think they're a very good team. I still think their roster is better than Ohio State. I know that's a hot take now, because a lot of people think that they cheated against Ohio State or whatever. I just think they're a better team than Ohio State. And then you got Georgia there, you got Florida State, Washington all trying to get into the playoffs. So who knows how the chips are going to fall, but I think Michigan, Ohio State, Georgia all probably making a trip there, and we'll see what happens in the last 3 weeks of the season.
All right, so I'm going to talk about my section, which was the awards, and I'm going to start it off with a hot take. Damar Hamlin shouldn't win Comeback Player of the Year.
Ooh.
Yeah, because, I don't know. I mean, man, he's played 13 snaps this entire year. He's like a 3rd string, 4th string cornerback. Is that really... I get that he died last year on the field, but still, you got to come back to something, and he's basically warming the bench. Why not give it to someone like Breece Hall, who came back from an ACL, is now a top 3 running back.
Okay.
Or something like that. I feel like there's definitely better options to go with than Damar Hamlin. It's kind of the same situation as the Brian Dable Coach of the Year last year. They just gave it to him because he was he was all over the media as this new great coach, and because of that they gave him Coach of the Year, and maybe someone else should have deserved it.
Yeah, the way they look now, for sure.
Yeah.
They definitely tanked after that great season last year.
Yeah, I don't know how much of it was him and how much of it was just
the players and everyone being healthy, because as the Giants are right now, they have not been healthy.
Yeah. Okay, and then the other one I wanted to talk about, you know what, Tyler? Let's hear your opinion on it. Who's the front runner for MVP right now? Take the mic. No!
Oh, no.
That's fine. Just take the weird thing.
That's
That's
fine.
Oh, okay. MVP, you put me on the spot right away. Right now, you got 2 really good options.
You got Zach Wilson out there.
Yeah, Zach Wilson.
Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams, yeah. Mahomes is always in the running.
Dick Butkus.
I think it's too early to make a prediction about who is going to win MVP, but all of those guys that we just listed besides Zach Wilson.
Caleb Williams, who's not even in the league yet.
That's what I just said, yeah. Exactly. But do you know who will never win MVP? Josh Allen.
Fields.
I fully agree with that.
I'm standing by that. He throws too many picks.
So what do we guys think about the player meeting that was between the Bills and they had no coaches? What do you guys think about that? I feel like the media is blowing it out of proportion. I feel like
that's fair.
Teams always.
It's probably just because Diggs and Allen have beef.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if it was just Diggs and Allen, I feel like it wouldn't be a full team thing. And the other thing is, this team isn't very good. I mean, they lost to the Patriots, who are not very good this year, and they lost to the Bengals last week, and the Bengals are a good team. I'll give them credit for sure, but I don't think they can win big games. They lost to Kansas City in the AFC Championship and the divisional in the years prior, so I just don't think they have what it takes to win in the playoffs.
Yeah, I was going to say, Buffalo was always a team that didn't always do the best against elite teams, but just stomped the bad ones. Now they're losing to the bad ones. It's kind of interesting. You don't know what's going to happen.
I just feel like the Bills will turn it around, though. They always seem
They're
to do.
gonna-
And with our division, I feel like the Bills are going to find a spot.
They're going to turn it around, but the question is it too late?
I don't think
They'll be in the playoffs,
Oh, they'll be in the
but
playoffs,
they're not going to be in the Super Bowl.
Ooh, what do you guys think
Ooh.
about Miami?
I think they might make.
They're
the
gonna get-
playoffs, but they're gonna lose in the second round again.
I can't tell if Miami is like a Super Bowl caliber team
They're
or
not.
a barely playoff. You can't tell. Like week in and week out, sometimes when they dropped 70, even if it was on Denver, they still dropped
70 points.
70,
Yeah.
and they almost beat the record. They would have beaten the record.
Their record against teams with a losing record is incredibly good, and same for their point differential. And then when you look at teams with a winning record, they just get torched.
What do you think it is? I mean, their offense is still amazing.
They're not beating Kansas City. They're not beating Baltimore. They're not winning against those teams in the playoffs. That's what I say.
I think they have a
That's
good shot
fair. I
against
mean,
Baltimore.
I'm just looking at the teams.
Oh,
Ooh,
I
who
remember the
would
teams.
win the playoffs? The Dolphins or the Jets? What are you thinking? If Aaron Rodgers is
Dolphins,
back.
100%.
Aaron Rodgers is back, though.
No, Rodgers could. I heard a take today. Rodgers could come back today and still face like a massive pressure and he'd be sacked plenty of times, and especially on that bum knee of his.
But it's not that, I mean, so Zach Wilson's holding on to it for way too long.
Zach Wilson isn't doing a bad job.
No, he's not. I'm saying he's just holding on to the ball for too long.
Yeah,
Which is why he's getting sacked so much. Aaron Rodgers wouldn't get sacked as much.
again, it takes one hit for him to be
Yes,
out
that's
again.
I mean, now one hit, that's his career.
Yeah.
That's there. You don't want to bring it back too early.
I don't know. I mean, he doesn't have. He's probably.
I think
isn't-
he should take the year off, to be honest.
I think he should retire.
Oh yeah,
Ooh, what do you guys think about this guy?
I think
This year.
Geno Smith. I'm mad because I played him last week and he only got 3 points.
I'm mad because
Um,
he sucks this year.
Yeah, he absolutely won so many games for them last year, and now he's just. I know they're 5-3, but they shouldn't be.
He doesn't suck. He's just a game manager.
Yeah, exactly. Walker has had a really good season.
I don't know. Walker has a good season. That ain't great.
That wasn't a good game, but he's had a pretty good season overall.
Jackson.
What do we think about DK?
DK?
Yeah.
I don't know. You like? To be honest, I haven't watched many of their games this
I mean, he's an elite player. There's no question about it. It's just that he's not to the caliber of like a Tyreek Hill in some situations, and part of that is just because of like the matchups, and he's still younger and he's still learning the game a little bit mentally. But like as an athlete, he's incredible.
This is a good game to talk about, I think. First of all, the dog himself.
Josh Dobbs
Yeah.
Gonna love that guy.
highlighted him last week.
All I'm gonna say is in week 3, I was talking to Drew. I'm like, "Yo, I picked up Josh Dobbs in my fantasy. What do you think?" He's like, "Oh yeah, that guy's like a 1 week thing. He's gonna be trash next week." Look at you now. Josh Dobbs has been going crazy this year. I don't know what happened, but
To be fair, he was in Arizona and he had nothing to work with though.
no, I'm saying but what I'm saying is
here?
I'm saying that he was still going crazy even in Arizona. He went. I think he went the first 5 weeks without throwing a pick.
He did good. He did really good for Arizona and our expectations for him, but to say he was going crazy, I don't know. He's really good. I'll give him that. He's had a really good season. I just
I just want to mention how Atlanta had another Atlanta moment. And,
Yeah,
blew
that's
blew
what
another game.
yeah.
More than blowing a game, I wanted to talk about this guy,
Bijan
Robinson.
Robinson.
I don't know what the fuck they're doing with him. Oh, what the hell they're doing with him?
First bleep of the podcast.
Yeah, I know.
Trust me, I got one too.
Yeah, but like I don't understand. What are they smoking? Like they drafted him in the first round. It's just like another certain person who's getting outsnapped by Jonnu Smith.
Yeah.
Like what's going on here? Why are you outsnapping Kyle Pitts with Jonnu Smith?
Honestly, it comes down to what they want to do with him, and
What they want to do is irrelevant. They suck.
Exactly. It's on that coach. On 100%. We were talking about it last week with my family. We're a big football family, and we sit there and talk about games on Sunday. Why aren't they running the ball with him? He is their best offensive player. Their offensive player.
Yeah.
And they got Heineke. Heineke's a dog, but
To be fair,
Johnny Smith.
Algier.
Also, how is he going off?
I don't know. Algier is definitely the better red zone running back, but Bijan is still. They should be running him way more. I mean, 11 carries. He got out-carried by Algier. I don't care that Algier is like the better red zone guy. If that's the case, you should like Jamal Williams. And Jamal Williams last year was getting like 7-8 snaps, but all of them were at the red zone. Like that was the way to use him. But they're just not using Bijan, even when Algier is averaging like what, 3 yards a carry? Something stupid. And then let's see. What's that? Huh.
Yeah, Kyle Pitts has been a disappointment this year. I drafted him.
Like, what the hell is going on? Why is... Like, I just don't get what they're doing. Jonnu should not be the person with the most yards on your team when you have 1,000-yard rookie tight end.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just don't
And also Bijan is one of the best receiving running backs.
I haven't been watching the Falcons game, so I don't know if it's just like he's not getting targets or anything, but he definitely should be having more than 4 receptions.
I've watched a couple of their games, and what it seems like is they're lining up Jonnu as a tight end, and they're lining up Kyle basically as a receiver. He's not a receiver. They need to play him as a tight end.
Do you think Arthur Smith is on the hot seat after this season? It's his third year.
Get his ass out of there.
Definitely. He's definitely on the hot
Ooh,
seat.
I have a good one. If the Patriots don't win this week, is Bill fired?
No.
No, they won't fire him.
Just because that video surfaced of him like leaving that whatever house that was, shirtless and going to work.
I don't know.
That's the only reason.
Okay.
No.
So
seriously, I don't think he'll be
after
fired
this
after
season,
this
are
week.
Kraft and Bill gonna part ways with the team?
No. I just feel
I don't know, man. Bill's 72. I'm starting to believe it more and more. I don't see Bill coaching many more seasons. He's a great I think if they still had him as a head coach, but general manager, I don't know.
I think Kraft and him need to have a talk and sit down.
Oh, no
Bill's-
question.
Bill's ego is too high. He's never gonna step down from GM anymore.
No.
Maybe a couple years ago he would have considered it, but now he's like he would. Never.
He's set on it, yeah. It's a touchy subject.
I think what I would like is if Bill was a head coach with a lot of power over who we draft, but there was still a general manager above him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because Bill's such a good drafter, but when it comes to being an actual general manager,
He's good.
it's kind of iffy.
He's a really good defensive drafter, not a good offensive drafter. All the offensive players he's drafted in recent years have not panned out.
That's actually true. Here.
That is true.
Let's see.
I will
I
give you
actually
that,
want to
Drew.
see. So he drafted N'Keal Harry, Tyquan Thornton.
Cole
I think
Strange,
Thornton just-
Mac
You wouldn't
Jones.
even- Thornton was a bad pick, but Cole Strange is not bad. He's just average. Mac Jones isn't terrible either. He's just doesn't have anything. to work
Very
with.
inconsistent.
Sony Michelle. Everybody criticizes that
Okay,
pick.
Sony Michel.
However, Sony Michel, his
As a
run
Patriot,
game
right?
won you a Super Bowl.
As
Sony
a
Michel-
Patriot, he was really good.
Sony Michel was he wasn't worth a first round pick, but he wasn't a bust.
Yeah, he wasn't.
He was like he would have been worth maybe like a third or something like that.
Yeah.
Chargers, Kansas City Rams, that playoff run, all those games he had really good rushing performances.
All right, let's see these bad boys. Come on, let's pick up.
So this year he drafted Gonzalez, and Gonzalez is a really good
Gonzalez,
player,
he will
but
be
he's
really good.
defensive.
He'll be really good.
Let's see. Yeah, Cole Strange last year. Cole Strange is not bad. He's just
I
not.
criticize that at the moment.
He's not good for that pick.
Yeah, no.
He's fine for a third round pick, not a first round pick.
He's a decent starter though. It's not like bad.
Yeah, no. It's a good piece.
Yeah,
but
Mac
it's not,
is-
I'm
yeah.
using that. Not,
N'Keal Harry is not a good one.
no, horrible. Where
And
is
he also
is
could have
is he
had-
still in Chicago?
Yeah, I think so.
yeah.
A.J. Brown, Debo Samuel, D.K. Metcalf, all those guys.
All those guys.
To
were
be
there.
fair, like
Isaiah Wynn was a bust, who he took in 2018.
I guess, and Sony Michel was kind of.
Isaiah Wynn was supposed to be really good, and he was terrible.
Jordan
Yeah, and
Love.
then I don't know.
Malcolm Brown was okay.
Malcolm Brown was okay.
And now we're going back so far.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah, and then let's see, Chandler Jones. That was a banger. Dante
Yeah.
Hightower.
Dante Hightower
Really
was a
good
great
pick.
pick, but
Like, see,
that
there's
was
still-
11 years
McCoy.
ago.
Devin McCourty was very good.
Yeah,
Defensive, again,
What do you mean?
defensive.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's all of our best ones. Maroney, who the hell was that?
I don't know.
I don't think he was great, though. Probably not if you don't know about him. The GOAT himself.
Yes.
Where did we draft Gronk? What year was it? Was it
2010, he was taken in the second round.
Gronk was a second rounder? I always
Yes.
thought he was a first rounder.
Second round.
Yeah, he was like halfway through the second round.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like Bill needs to go. Respectfully, we all love him, but he needs to go. And I stand by the fact that the last 3 Super Bowls we had were Tom. I think it was a 50-50 thing. First 3 were because of Bill. The last 3 were because of Tom.
I actually agree with that. I don't know how you feel about it, but I agree.
I think it was both of them for all 6 that contributed.
Yeah, but I'd say like 75% on the first 3 was Bill, and then 25 was Tom, and then it swapped in the final 3.
Because Brady was just.
I would agree that Brady contributed more towards the end just because he had so much more knowledge of the
Yeah,
game.
that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I just feel like
28-3.
Yeah, that was.
okay. That was a lot.
All
of luck,
willpower of that team.
That was luck too.
And luck.
You can't say
it's
that
the biggest
was
choke
luck.
and the biggest just meltdown of a team ever.
What do you guys think, though? Do you think Bill is still considered the GOAT after a couple bad seasons?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Of coaching, yes. Of general manager,
Oh, I
no way.
never said that.
No way.
Manager,
He
shit.
sucks at general
He's
manager.
horrible.
But I think he's still. Do you think Andy Reid is going to challenge him at all?
No.
In some people's minds.
Yeah,
But
people are.
At the end of the day, the quarterback makes it.
people say Nick Sirianni is going to be the new Bill Belichick. People don't know what they're talking about.
Andy Reid has always been a really, really good coach. He's a great coach, but he never really got over the hump till he got Patrick Mahomes. And people say, oh, well, Andy Reid's had some success without Mahomes, but he never won a Super Bowl. People say, Belichick never won without Brady or whatever. So,
Ooh, who do you think is winning Coach of the Year though? I think it's Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
It should be Dan Campbell, 100%.
yeah, that was our
Dan
preseason pick.
Dan Campbell was great last year too. Like this, you saw how his job improving the Lions' defense so much.
Yeah.
I mean, their defense was atrocious beginning of the year. By the end of the year, their defense was really good, and they've been good this year. Not amazing, but not bad.
Very competitive in that. We haven't seen that in Detroit in a while.
You know, like
For any of their sports.
No, Detroit is like
That's legit.
Detroit is so happy right now.
Oh yeah, and it's great for them.
Yeah.
We need new markets. I
Yeah.
tell you that right now.
Okay, and then based on what I said at the beginning, who do you think is winning comeback of the year? Do you think it's gonna be tomorrow? I feel like it's gonna
I
be.
know,
It's gonna be. I mean,
that would be a handout. That would
It's
be a
honestly-
handout.
it's
in
gonna
the
be a
NFL.
it's gonna be a handout. I mean, you saw how much media coverage he had.
Yeah, I think so.
It's just gonna be that way. Like I wish it isn't, but I mean, the awards aren't as much for players as it is like a media stunt and getting people to think about football. And that saying tomorrow, it was some random suburban mom like, oh yeah, I saw that guy on TV.
Yeah.
And then and then that's gonna get them a viewer.
All right, let me throw a couple questions at you guys. So, one, if you're Kraft and you decide it's time to move on from Bill, who do you want to replace him? Because a lot of people are saying Mayo. And then the other question I have for you guys is draft-wise, who do you want the Patriots to pick? They'll probably have a top 5 pick this year.
Well, I agree with you on the first selection, and on the pick. Well, it depends. If we get, obviously I'd want to get Marvin Harrison as much as possible, and then based on that, cause we know Marvin Harrison is going to be good, and then what we could do is we could see if now that Mac actually has a weapon, if he is still crap, or if he is improved and back to rookie Mac. And if that's the case, we could draft a quarterback. We could use a quarterback we draft in the later rounds because this draft is so deep. Obviously, we'd like Drake May, Caleb. We'd like all of those. But to be honest, if we draft Marvin Harrison and Max still tanks, we're probably getting another high pick again. We could maybe try to snatch Shedeur Sanders or something like that. I feel like there's definitely paths to go. But I'm not completely set on if we should draft a quarterback next year.
All right, Tyler?
I'm gonna disagree.
Okay.
I'm not deep into the college football where I know the top quarterbacks, and I don't think we'll be able to get our boy from USC. But I think a quarterback is needed. I mean, I loved when we picked Mac. Drew and I were on the call. We were screaming, going crazy that we picked Mac. But just the decision wise, I think he is great. I think Mac is a great quarterback as a person and just his mindset. But I think he's just been feeding too much into the media. I think he's been feeding too much into everything, and he needs to be at least sat down. I mean, I've been crazy about Bailey Zappi, but I won't sit on here. I will not sit on here and go crazy about Bailey Zappi. I will not.
Bailey Zappi
Mac
is mid,
turned
man.
it around. At the last couple of games, Mac has been better enough where I would start him. But
Bailey Zappi is shit.
I know, but he won us a couple games last year.
Yeah, that wasn't because of Bailey Zappi. That was because the team did well too.
I feel like the team would do better without Bailey Zappi.
Bro, I don't know,
But
man.
as for a draft, I could see us going with a wide receiver or something like that. That would be good.
If we drafted a
I'm not-
freaking kicker out of a D3 school, I'm gonna die.
Yes, we're gonna pick up our kicker, Hopkins and Red Hawks.
No, we're gonna draft what should be a 20th rounder out of a freaking D4 college school. That's what's gonna happen.
Exactly.
That's gonna be our first rounder.
Hey,
That-
it would be a story. It'd be a hell of a story.
That's a Bill type pick though.
Okay, here's what I think. I think Belichick, we don't know. My guess is because he signed another extension over the offseason and leaked that. I think he stays the coach for one more year just because of that. However, that's not a guarantee anymore. And then the other thing, I think if he does get replaced, it'd be Gerard Mayo, just because that's what everybody said with Kraft. Who to take?
I think if Kraft gets fired, Bill's out too.
Okay.
What
Yeah,
was
they
it?
don't-
Kraft
they'll
can't
clean
get
it. They'll clean
fired.
it.
You know what I mean.
He owns the team.
You know what I mean. But like, not
If Kraft
fired.
sells,
Kraft sells.
He'll never sell the team.
I don't think so. I think
He
he's
would
I think
never.
he's dying with it and leaving it to his son.
Yeah, he said before that he's gonna have Jonathan run the team after he does.
Really think so?
Yes.
I believe it.
Oh yeah.
The Kraft family's
He's been training Jonathan to do that for a long
a long
time.
time.
I guess. I mean, I don't know. I just don't. I kind of lost my trust in Kraft a little bit.
I don't.
I know. I still believe.
Kraft, everything he's done has been really, really good. This is on Belichick.
Personnel and GM. That's the two things I think.
I mean, they lost so many coaches. Ernie Adams, Dante Scarnecchia, Josh McDaniels.
At least we're gonna get Josh back.
Yeah, Josh
Yeah.
will be back as a QB
Josh is
coach.
Josh is definitely coming back to Patriots though.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
I think we should put him as an
Without a
offensive
doubt.
coordinator.
100%.
Billy O. So do you fire Billy O?
Okay.
I wouldn't.
Oh, yeah.
I would keep Billy O. I would just bring Josh in as well.
I think
We can
we
do both.
fire Billy O,
No.
or we try to like we Sean Payton it, sell him to someone. Someone would definitely buy him, and then we use Josh.
I would rather have Josh than Billy O, but I think they're both good, and I think we could utilize both of them.
Didn't the Broncos pay a first for Sean Payton?
I think maybe. I don't look.
Check that.
Fact check.
For what I think we should do for drafting, I think you need a new quarterback, but if you don't see who's there right now and see that you're just kind of taking a shot, you could be wasting a draft pick. Just by taking
first and a second.
you could be wasting it on a quarterback that's not going to pan out, and you don't want to have to do that twice where you draft a quarterback that just doesn't pan out. So
We had that happen.
yeah, because you think that it's not going to be Mac, and then you force it, and then it's not whoever the next guy is. You're just going to create more problems. You might want to pick somebody who, if you're looking to pick somebody who you think is guaranteed to be an elite talent in the NFL for a long time, I'd go with Marvin Harrison, because you have no wideouts, and he is just by far the best in the draft.
So you agree with me on that one?
I think so. If you're going that route, there's multiple strategies you could go with.
If
But
if we want QB, who do we go with?
JJ McCarthy.
Oh my god.
You think over? You think over the other two?
Caleb Williams, you would take if you got number one overall.
Oh yeah.
Caleb,
But you're not.
we
You're
don't-
not
Caleb
getting.
could very much be a bust though.
I mean, yeah.
He has struggled
he
against
could.
good teams.
I think he's talent wise better than pretty much any bust we've seen in the
That's true.
league. I think he's just his talent is so high. It's just he needs to have a good work ethic. And if you put him in a place that values that, which is the Patriots, he could do well. But the other thing is you got to put talent around him.
The issue is Caleb's kind of an ass.
Oh yeah.
Like, you saw the whole thing about how he saw like a QB crying after they lost a game, and last year he like said L on social media.
And then he cried after the game.
And he
they
wants
lost to
pity points,
Washington.
and people were just laughing at him. He's like, "Why do you have to be so mean?" I mean, he's like,
He just wanted to go home and snuggle with his dog and watch some shows. That's what
he
he
wanted to
said.
snuggle with his mom. You saw that. He jumped up in the stand and then cuddled in her arms.
That's crazy.
I mean, you act like that wasn't true.
I mean, we all saw it.
That's
I said for a reason. I think the most guaranteed one is that receiver out of Ohio State, Marvin Harrison Jr.
Who's the quarterback for Ohio State?
So
this
you're
year?
admitting Ohio State has a good player?
Ohio State does have a good player.
Yeah.
Ohio State sucks as a team.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Michigan will
they have a lot of
Who's
talent.
their QB though?
I don't have a clue.
Oh, look it up. I forget the guy's name.
I know. We probably should know it.
Wait,
I know his name.
Drake
Just
made-
because it was
Drake
CJ
made-
Stroud last
Drake
year.
May is UNC
Yeah.
or UCLA. It's UNC, right?
Yeah.
And then Caleb Williams is USC, right?
Mhm.
And then
just to go back kind of about
Kyle
coach
McCord,
situation.
yes.
Are you sure that Harbaugh can't be in the stadium?
I know he can't be on the sidelines. That's what I read from ESPN. I don't know if he can't be in the stadium, but like, how much is he going to help from the press box?
And then
Even if he
here's
is,
my thing.
I don't think he can.
He's gonna
be.
whack a
Here's
trash
my
can.
thing about the stealing sign. Yeah,
Mhm.
Houston reference. People do it all the time. But
Mhm.
also think about it. To steal the sign, you know the sign. There's 2 seconds before they hike the ball. How are you gonna signal it to your defense what play is coming?
Yeah.
I'm just saying that to the league. Like I'm not.
Well, here's the thing with the coaching staff is the coaching is in college football they have the signs on the sidelines, which I've said for as long as I've been watching college football they need to change that.
Yeah.
Is because they have these signs on the side and they got to do it like the NFL where you're running audibles. So they
yeah.
do that. They have this allegedly the Michigan Scouts went to the games. They filmed it. They saw which signs were up and then they saw the play that was run. So they figured out which matched which. And when they were holding up what signs, what play they were going with, and then the coaches studied it, and then they whatever they saw for the signs, they made that adjustment.
We could always try to do something like how they're doing in pitching nowadays with the
pitch com.
Yeah.
stuff
pitch
like
com. You could always do something where it's like a button and then you.
Buzz,
Yeah.
buzz, play action pass.
I mean, they have the audibles and the QB's helmets. I think they just need to do what the NFL's
they have
doing.
that. I mean,
Or-
that's fine, but I just feel
or,
like at the end of the day that's not as big of an impact in the game as people think it is. I don't think he should have been suspended. I think he should still be on the sidelines next.
I think that he shouldn't be suspended, but he should definitely get a warning at least.
Oh, exactly. Maybe
Yeah.
a fine.
Yeah, fine.
Oh, for sure.
I just
But
don't.
I just think that's
I
outrageous.
agree with you. I just
Yeah.
don't think it made
I
that big of
agree.
a deal that he should get suspended from a game.
Exactly.
It's not like
For 3 games.
that's true. That's not even, and they're not even super small games either.
Yeah, they've had 9 meaningless games to this point, and then 2 out of the last 3 are very, very meaningful. And
Especially Ohio State.
yep, Michigan's got to prove something tomorrow, and then they
Screw
got to
you
prove
guys.
it again in 2 weeks after Thanksgiving.
Who's gonna win college football this year?
Michigan.
Bulldogs. Roll Bulldogs.
Do you actually think so?
Shout
I do.
out Matty Emerson.
Do you think USC has
Bulldogs.
any chance?
100%.
USC? No way, dude.
No, they don't have a shot.
You gotta, in order to get into the 4-team playoff, you have to have 1 loss or no losses. They have 2 or 3 right now.
I thought they had 2.
Yeah, they have 2 or 3. I'm not sure which, but you can only get in with 1.
Who else is still undefeated?
It's Ohio State, Michigan, Georgia, Washington, Florida State.
Yeah. So let's see. Yeah, USC's 5-2. Let's see. Yeah, 2.
How about Colorado?
Oh, these are small.
I think that's a bunch of overhype.
Let's see.
Oh,
Florida
that's
State.
really
Coach
random.
Brown.
to
Yeah,
bring up.
Florida
I know,
State,
but we're talking about records.
That's
and
not relevant.
It
That
is
was
relevant.
relevant 2 months
Ohio
ago.
State, Michigan.
Yeah.
Let's see. Liberty, but that's tiny.
Notre Dame.
Oh, Notre Dame stinks.
Yeah, what? They're 7-3. Yeah, what are you talking about? Let's see. I mean,
No,
for
it's
someone
not.
that sucks,
Notre Dame's good. They
Penn State,
underachieved
the
though.
best.
Mr. Merrill loved that.
Let's see. Yeah, Washington.
10-2 was
Alabama.
not the ceiling.
Alabama.
James Madison. That's gonna be number 1.
I don't know.
I have
I
no
have
clue
not
what it
heard
is.
much about Alabama this year.
Me neither. Same with LSU.
Mhm.
Who's even
Oh,
their
man.
quarterback or skilled positions?
Not Bryce Young, but Nick Saban's still their coach.
Yeah, they will always have a shot as long as
Jalen
He's there.
Milroe.
Milroy.
Milroy. Okay, yeah, never mind. I've seen him for a couple plays.
How far can he throw? I don't know.
Not as far.
Probably.
He's
if
probably
that's a
like the
question,
worst
probably not
quarterback they've had in the last 5 to 10
And yeah, who was
Yeah.
it? It was the most recent ones were just stacked.
Oh, they were all
Bryce Young, Mac Jones, Jalen Hurts, Tua turned the ball over.
Yeah. Drew, I think it's been running for almost 30 minutes.
Yeah. All right.
Do you think we need to cut it off? We
Probably.
probably should have cut it off a lot earlier. This has just become kind of a rant, but it's fun. It's fun.
It
It's fun.
is.
It is fun.
So appreciate Tyler joining us for the
All right,
Thanks for having me,
mid-season
guys.
podcast. Yeah.
Tyler, you gotta tell him to subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe, like. This guy needs all the support he can get.
Get him some
out
money.
there.
Get
Get him some money. Get this
Yeah.
man paid. Underpaid.
If
This
he
man
gets-
is underpaid.
Think about it. If Drew gets money, he can afford to do a money league in our fantasy.
Exactly. We are poor in this league.
No, Drew is poor.
Drew- I mean,
Drew's
100%.
Drew's broke.
My league is 100%.
All right. Thank you for watching.
Thanks. Bye.